Hey, listen up, I've tried to tell you this 100 times. Not getting better by lying there pretending to cry. You on repeat, you can see, cause you have closed your eyes. You say you listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. I try to help you, but you keep reading between the lines. There's nothing there for you to complicate, we're not aligned. You say you listen, but guessing that's just another sign of growing up. You're growing old, your life keep passing by. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Now if you break it, I can take it, I don't need a prize. Leave out the fact that I am up against 1,000 guys. My intuition efficient, cause I can't use my mind. Don't try to tell me how it's done, you haven't done your time. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning to whoever is watching right now, not in the chat, and anybody who's, excuse me, who's watching the replay. I appreciate you being here. And we are going to jump right into this topic of scammers. And I was looking around and I found this poker scammer. He was claiming that he had cancer and he raised money to get into the tournament, poker tournament. So we're going to look at this guy, and then we're going to talk about some of the scams that we know about and some of the things that happen, like the time that I got a call. This happens a lot, but I got a call from my bank phone number. The guy, he didn't sound like your typical scammer who you can't understand, but he had a U.S. American voice. English, I don't mean that, you know what I'm saying. And so we're going to look at that, and we're going to talk about that. But here's the first thing I want to talk about. This is a guy named Rob Mercer, and he was accused of faking cancer to solicit donations for a world, what is that? WSOP is World Poker, something poker tournament. I hope y'all can hear me, because I don't. Oh, hey, Shalima, can you hear me okay? I didn't have anybody in chat whenever I first came on. So anyway, he's been publicly accused of scamming the poker community after he faked terminal cancer in order to solicit donations so he could play in the 2023 World Series of Poker main event. He wanted to get in. He wanted to play. Well, if you don't want to go earn money, what are you going to do? You're going to lie and say you've got cancer. So he was and we've got a couple of videos. Let's let these people tell the story, because this is another YouTuber, and I've got it queued up to the place where they are talking about him. So let me pull that up real quick and see what these guys say, because they know all about it. Please stop right there. All right. Okay, just let me share that. Hey, Toxicity, good morning. Yeah, scammers, that's right. Well, this guy claimed he had cancer to get money, and he actually did get money. Quite a bit of money for scamming, saying that he was about to not be with the world anymore. So there's that. Hey, Fruit Fly. Let's see what this guy says. This is I mean, it's a channel that covers stuff like this. So here we go. Oh,
shell that dropped in the Twitter sphere, where a scandal was sort of exposed, I would say. Jesus Christ!
All right. Yeah, how do we pivot to this fucking story?
Well, you mute Landon's mic. Snoop Dogg, who was originally the one who I guess like introduced the poker world to Rob Mercer, kind of came out and said, like, I hope this isn't true, but all signs point to Rob having kind of scammed the community and made off with the money. So allegedly, what we've learned in the time since then is that roughly 30 to 40,000 was accrued through private measures as well as the GoFundMe.
$30,000 to $40,000, and this isn't the first person who's ever, Gypsy, what's her name? She's about to get out of prison. Her mother faked her illness, which is Munchausen by proxy. I don't know if it's Munchausen when you just lie and say stuff just to get money, but it's more like when you're faking being sick to get attention and money. But I'm not sure if that falls under that diagnoses or not. But nonetheless, this guy made a lot of money scamming.
I think a lot of that was kind of, I don't want to say amplified, but basically like a lot of it came from the HCL community. I know like there was a private group that gave him like access to the Bellagio suite as well as 15,000. I was asked not to share names, so like I'll keep it private, even though I think that it's kind of out there. And then whatever he got from the GoFundMe, the idea was that Rob Mercer was terminally ill, and his lifelong dream was to play the WSOP main event. So they were trying to raise travel funds, a 10K buy-in, etc. And Vertucci, like, very generously went out of his way to kind of put on a fundraiser, said he would commit to whatever wasn't raised and to ensure that Mercer was able to play the event. I think there was a Poker Flops video that does a pretty good job breaking it down all the way back to, I think it was.
That's right, fruit fly, Lulu. Run the grocery store, but we'll be back chatting a bit. Don't want Barb to hurt me. Okay, Toxicity. See you in a minute.
It was like June 4th or something like that, if you got that one, Guap.
Usually these videos I make cover the latest drama-filled story the poker world has to offer. This one will be a different kind of story. Let me introduce you to Rob Mercer. I first became aware of Rob and his story. I saw Nick Vertucci, co-owner of Hustler Casino Live, post a video of his own on Twitter. It was a raw video of Nick sharing Rob's story and getting a bit choked up. Later on in the day, I saw Ace Poker make a video of his own where he also shared Rob's story. So today, I'm going to do what I can to spread some awareness as well. Rob Mercer is a 37-year-old semi-professional poker player. In his words, a small stakes grinder. It's been a lifetime dream of his to enter the World Series of Poker main event, a dream that most of us, if not all of us in poker, share. Unfortunately, in August of last year, Rob was diagnosed with a terminal form of cancer. He was given anywhere between 6 and 18 months to live, depending on how rapid it progressed. Again, in Rob's own words, he says, "I've been fighting hard for months now, and my body is definitely doing its best, but I can feel the sickness draining on me physically and mentally." Rob now spends most of his days resting in bed, although a few weeks ago, when the WSOP was starting up, he and his father took a week-long trip to Vegas to play some poker, and Rob managed to cash in 3 different events. He said the experience shot some life back into him.
So you've also got a gambling addiction. You got scamming for money, lying about being sick, and then a gambling problem, because there's other ways to make money than to gamble. And if you're having to lie to get into a poker tournament to raise money, then you're not a very successful gambler, I would say. What do y'all think? I mean,
after returning home, he came to the realization that if he didn't at least try to play in the WSOP main this year, it would haunt him forever. So he decided to start a GoFundMe with a goal of $12,000, $10K to cover the entry, and $2,000 to cover travel, stay, and food. Currently, just under $4,200 has been raised for Rob, and the incredibly generous Nick Vertucci has pledged to cover whatever remains to ensure Rob gets to live out his dream of playing in the World Series of Poker main event. I've left a link for the GoFundMe in the comments below wherever you're watching this video. It's pretty awesome to see the poker community, which is usually filled with drama, come together to support a single cause. Best of luck on the felt, Rob.
All right, so where did this all go wrong? This should be, basically if
it all goes wrong in the beginning, because to lie about an illness is going to get you caught. It's going to get you karma. I don't know. I don't care what you believe. I mean, it doesn't matter what you believe, but what you put out often comes back to you. It's not a 1-for-1. It's not like you do something today and tomorrow it hits you back. But I just think that when you lie about being sick and you're not, you're going to get sick. It happened to me one time. No, I didn't lie about cancer. I called into work sick. A week later, I had exactly what I called in sick over. When I wasn't sick, when I called in, hey, Betty Boop. I'm kind of stumbling over my words today. So Betty damn Boop. Anyway, anytime you lie, when you lie, then you have to remember what you lied about. If you say you didn't do something and then, a week later you said, oh, I did, I do, I didn't, you can't get away with that. Hey, Foxy.
Feel good story of how somebody who is in their last days of suffering got to fulfill a lifelong dream of getting to play in the main event. We've seen this story.
I mean, would you not love to go to the vacation of your dreams, or to, like, if you're some kind, I'm a gambler, to go play in this big tournament, whatever your fancy is, to be able to just have the money. Like, I could go to the casino over here down the road and play with somebody else's money, and it wouldn't hurt like it would if I went over there right now and played with my money. But if somebody gave me a ton of money and said, here, go play, and that's all I want you to do with it, is just go blow it, then I could just go over there and play and hope that I at least broke even, or, it's a problem. And I just want to hit somebody when they lie about cancer and stuff. It just gets me. Hey, Deb.
Play out in the past. I believe it was 2015, perhaps 15 or 14. There was somebody who was terminally ill who actually ended up making a deep run in the main event, passed, unfortunately, shortly thereafter, maybe 3 or 4 months thereafter the fact. And the main event seems to be like one of those bucket list items that kind of draws in this sort of crowd support for somebody who's, in an unfortunate stage in their life.
Yeah, at least in poker it should be, right? Like, it's like the biggest tournament of the year, versus like people dream to play the main.
Yeah, I mean, it's different because you get to participate, right? So it's not the same as like being a lifelong NFL fan and getting tickets to the Super Bowl, right? Like, you actually get to come and play and compete and maybe meet.
You actually get to win $12 million maybe.
Yeah, which, as far as like leaving behind some sort of legacy, that would probably be pretty important.
$12 million. The winner gets $12 million. Wow. So this guy was trying to get 12,000, and then he ended up with 40,000 to try to win millions, but it was all scam. How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself? That just infuriates me.
Important to some.
Pretty sick.
So, I mean, all things considered, it's like you can't really find fault in people having some level of empathy, having some level of generosity. Oh no, my light just went out.
Yeah, maybe because you're fucking with it the whole time that video was playing. Trying to make yourself look sexy for whoever's in the chat. I don't know who you're trying to attract.
Well, if it isn't
Landon, obviously.
you don't got to keep the light on for that, buddy.
Yeah, there's that toxicity. I mean, there is that.
Okay, back to the subject at hand. Jesus. Essentially, what we saw is that's gonna be too bright for sure.
Oh my god.
This guy, he's unbelievable.
He's literally like the biggest diva.
He's literally the biggest
He's
diva I've ever
literally
seen.
You're so vain.
It's the same brightness
Bet you
that he
think
just told
this
me to turn
pod is
down.
about you.
I gotta get through there.
It'll look good. It's gonna look great, Guapo. I have a feeling for it. Okay, so essentially,
Look good.
Thank you, appreciate that. So essentially, what ends up happening is from there, the story picks up in that all these arrangements were made, and I only know this obviously secondhandedly from people that I've spoken to, as well as hearing Vertucci on a couple spaces. But I guess like the next step in this was Rob came to Vegas with his dad. They were supposed to stay at the Bellagio suite, and something happened like on the first night or something along those lines where either they had a standard room or something wasn't up to their level.
I heard that they came a day or two early, I believe.
Okay.
And
That would make
then
sense.
they got a standard room or something.
Right. And then they stayed a couple days past their
Without telling anybody.
right, without telling
God.
the person who was comping them the suite. So from my understanding,
Where does these people get off?
Maisie, yeah. What this is a man who wanted to get in this big poker tournament, and he faked saying that he only had, he had like cancer. It was advanced, and he was raising money to get into this tournament, and it was all fake.
well, I mean, if you're
Go
gonna,
on.
Depending on the light, yeah.
if you're gonna allegedly grift, you might as well maximize.
It's true.
It's like Anna Delvey.
Yeah. So while all this was taking place, I guess like some red flags had kind of cropped up. There was the chaos whenever they first got here a little bit early, where they weren't satisfied with the room. There was the fact that they stayed a little bit late. There were a couple other details that had leaked out where I guess he was like on Twitter bragging about telling a porn star that he was terminally ill, and then getting a courtesy bang.
Oh, no.
What? What? Oh my goodness. Was he going to then brag about it? Was he then going to go talk about it on, his YouTube channel and say, look what I'm getting?
Of some sort.
No.
Yeah, something weird.
This
Something
guy
along
is
those
a real
lines?
Yeah, he said that
This guy is allegedly a real piece of shit.
porn star or something. Was hitting on him and wanted to have sex with him or something. But yeah. That's when people were like, okay, wait a second.
Hey, Mark.
Right.
Like, imagine being such a fucking lowlife that you have to lie about having cancer in order to get laid and
Paid.
have money.
And paid.
Mm-hmm. Well, the porn star
Light
thing was
and
probably all bullshit too.
That
You
could
don't
be.
think he fucked the porn star?
No,
That does seem like
I
something
mean,
to be
honestly,
fabricated.
well,
I think he just made that story up.
She was probably she couldn't help herself when she saw him.
That's true.
I mean, he
What a
is a
wholesome show. we
beautiful
have.
drink of water. So there were other things
This is
going on.
Monday at 6:30 p.m.
There were other things going on. This had now taken place over the course of a few months. He was still like, 240 plus pounds. Like basically his physical demeanor wasn't changing at all. And there was like some real anger problems that I guess took place during the WSOP. I had heard rumors that he was in like a friendly home game and demanded to be paid out of a sit and go that he like chopped or won for like $400. Like he immediately wanted to be paid, which kind of indicates that money is an issue. He also, unfortunately, Cody, who actually is terminal, the Make-A-Wish guy that MJ put into Poker Night in America as well as the main event, he talked him into a main event swap. And I guess he like followed him to the cage when Cody cashed.
It was actually what I heard was that he was so upset about busting.
Oh,
that
it
he
wasn't even a real
did this whole
swap.
No,
sob
he had
story
a-
to Cody, and then Cody offered him
Just a free roll.
just a piece.
Yeah, he had already busted the
Okay,
tournament or didn't play it.
That's even worse.
That's just, I mean,
Oh,
if this is true, this
Yeah.
is like a truly disgusting person.
I wonder, and I'm speculating obviously at this point, I haven't heard anything about this, but I wonder what the likelihood is that he didn't even play the main.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I think there's pictures or something.
Okay.
You're saying
I
like,
mean-
take the money and
There's so much wrong with this guy. Yeah, there's so many scams. I mean, there are legitimate scams that hit up just everybody. You get phone calls, you get emails, you get ads, you get click things to click on when you're reading news and stuff, websites that could lead to getting scammed and hacked, and businesses are getting hacked where they'll get a hospital and they'll hack in there and have the hospital end up having to pay them a ransom to get all their information back. It's just our world, and we're going to talk about in a few minutes deep faking and these how they use cameras, and they can use your voice and your pictures and your videos to pretend like it's you and get money from grandparents or parents or old people or whoever. There's so much scams, but this guy, I mean, he takes the cake.
And then not even buy in.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know what
there were rumors that he also
busted quick right before dinner break.
Right. Well, so there were rumors that he may have oversold because he was gifted a bunch of money privately. He was raising money on the GoFundMe, and then I guess he also put action up on Stake Kings. So there's a potential that he did play, but he just oversold, and hence the fast bust and the guilty free roll, et cetera, et cetera.
That seems strange too. That like you this is like your dying wish, and then like you get put in, and then you sell it all off.
Yeah,
like you sell a bunch of pieces off. Like, why would you do that? Like,
well, I mean, his plan was just to exit after he did this whole thing. So I guess he just doesn't care how sloppy he is.
In hindsight, there's some red flags.
Right.
There's potentially some warning signs, if you will. So I guess the whole thing, culminated in him eventually leaving Vegas in a huff, where at this point questions were being asked, and I think, from what I understand, having spoken with him and a few others, I think Snoop Dogg felt like a sense of responsibility to kind of get answers. And to set the framework of all this, the entire Rob Mercer has cancer, let's support him type of thing happened at a time where we were right on the tail end of the Jamie LaFay kind of witch hunt, disproving or attempting to disprove her medical claims, as well as the insertion of Cody into the poker sphere as well. Mm-hmm. So this is a pretty opportune time.
Cancer GoFundMe,
right?
Like boom.
Yeah, didn't Rob? He went in and was he critical of her, or is he?
So I was on the original space. I remember this. I was on the original space where he jumped on, and he basically came in and. Yes, he was hypercritical of her by saying I actually have cancer.
Right, I have it. I'm dying, and I'm not asking for anything.
Yeah.
Correct.
He's like, there's people like me who are losing their lives who would love this opportunity. Right. And then everyone kind of jumped on that because they were mad at Jamie.
Right. Pretty sharp.
Very right, Maisie. It is creepy. The mindset that you deserve people just to give you money. The mindset that you can just say you're sick and people will give you money. And then they do, and then what do you do with it? And then you just blow it. I mean, and this guy, and then he gets there and he complains because he wanted a better room than he had. Hey, Angela, he wanted a better room than he had. So, I mean, it's the lowest of lows.
Sharp social engineering by him.
Very finger on the pulse of like lucky. What's going on. Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's very opportunistic too, right? Yeah. Like anybody who was paying any attention to social media at that time knew that the poker community was a house divided.
Yeah. And also like whenever people are so like in their feelings about something, like they're going to have blind spots to you're just going to have blind spots to getting manipulated when you're acting out of pure emotion.
Right.
Yes. Emotional manipulation. And using a medical diagnosis for sympathy and money and friends and attention, and it works. And the people who do it are good at it. It works tremendously. They're able to play on people's emotions and lie and not feel a thing. Obviously, they don't feel a thing. But then this guy, he's out there like, yeah. I mean, it's just too much. I can't even imagine the lying. A lot of people give because they want to. Yeah.
So like, I think he probably saw that was what was going on and just dove in, was like, I'll be your champion.
Yes, of course. Because if you look at the two timelines between him and Jamie's progression was there was a weird dark time where she basically, said some like dark things on the internet and then disappeared. And everybody was worried about her. I don't know if you remember, but like Vertucci was attempting to get a hold of her. Like basically everybody who was within her social circle was like reaching out, trying to get a hold of her. And it was like a weekish, maybe 2, where she was just gone.
Hey, Amber, I was gonna text you the other day, and then you had commented yesterday on a couple of my shorts, and so I thought, well, she's okay. But I hadn't seen you, and I almost was going to text you, and I forgot. So I'm glad you're better. Good to see you around.
And then shortly thereafter, she came back and basically said, like, she had this cancer diagnosis and that the medical bills were going to be very extreme, yada, yada, yada.
And or not, I mean, it's related, but there was a viral video. There was a video that went viral in early February before her cancer GoFundMe of a famous TikToker who did the same thing. So I don't know if there's something in the stars. Everyone's making GoFundMes about cancer.
This is nothing new. I mean, as somebody who's been online dating for a decade and a half, every single catfish. I got catfish. The very first girl that catfished me when I was like 23. Yeah.
That's
she had cancer.
For someone who watches a lot of Catfish the show, knows that's what they do.
It's such a sympathy thing that people don't want to call out.
Right. It's always like when the person who thinks they're being catfished is telling Neve, the host of the show, like, hey, so they have cancer, and I sent them. They're like, oh, there you go, there it is. We know they're catfish now because every day.
Hey, Bones, how are you?
They've heard that story a million times.
And also, like, the other thing is, like, he said he had stage 4 cancer, and like I've seen stage 4 cancer, and like you're not gallivanting around Vegas, like posting that you're living the high life, and like your organs are shutting down.
I mean, you could. I'm sure there are periods where you might feel good enough to.
Yeah, some people decline very quickly. Some people were able to stave it off, and then just like a rapid drop. But still, there's some physical tells there, I would say. What I want to make clear before we go any further with these details, because I think it is worth laying out the timeline of Jamie's prognosis as well. I don't know if Jamie's a grifter. I don't know if Rob is a grifter. And quite frankly, I don't care that much. Mm-hmm. If you look at both of these timelines, you'll notice that any big public figurehead in the space largely was hands off of both.
Yeah.
And it's simple.
Hey, Cassandra, I'm sorry about your dog, Bones. I hope she gets better soon.
It's because we don't really need to police these types of fundraisers the way that people assume that you do. Like, whenever somebody out of the blue starts posting for like basically panhandling for money, whether it comes with a sob story or not, this community is really fucking sharp. Like, will people get got? Of course. Will they get got to the tune of 6 figures? Almost certainly not.
Like, I've seen this. So I used to go on like, hey, don't make fun of me. I used to go on like astrology Twitter a lot.
There are, what was I going to say? Dang it. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, there's all these scams of these people going out like by a grocery store or Walmart and playing a violin and putting out a sign saying they need money for this and that. And they're not really playing a violin. They're playing music and pretending to be playing that music. And well, that's a scam. I mean, don't fake it. If you're fake playing music, just let people know that you're fake playing music. If they want to donate, they will. But why you got to fake about it? There's a bunch of that going on.
Okay.
And this was actually a really common thing there, because if you could believe it, a lot of like people who do astrology readings are like kind of broke.
No.
I know. It's like shocking. But
I'm shocked.
But so a lot of them will post like these big long sob story GoFundMes. Everyone's retweeting it. Poker is like, I have noticed, is a lot sharper than the astrology community. Is that shocking to you?
No, not a little bit, but not terribly.
Surprisingly, no.
So like you don't see as much like it's more like fanatical, where they're like, oh, like, how dare you, like, this person needs surgery, and it's kind of, but poker is a little more critical, I in my
like, look, as somebody who has sat on the sidelines for both of these situations, I had my doubts in both scenarios, as one should whenever this type of stuff crops up out of the.
We are a society that we're given so much information in a day. We are given tons of information, and we've gotten to the point where I know a lot of people in the community that I see in YouTube, we are automatically assume a scam before it's even a scam. And that's probably how the poker community is. You get this mindset that you're being scammed, so that even when you're not a scammer, people think you're scamming or they accuse you of it. And so I don't know how people get away with it, because I got accused of dry begging when I got a washing machine with money that I made on YouTube. No fundraiser, no freaking crying case. I need a washing machine. That's where my money's going. And it still gets brought up like there's something wrong with that. But you got people over here scamming for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and nobody seems to care. They just keep giving them money. It's crazy.
The blue, right? So it's kind of a do your own due diligence type of scenario. And, I harp on things like markup, where I say we should be educating the public from getting fleeced for like unbeatable amounts. But that's because I think that in those instances, you're able to leverage social engineering due to a huge platform. Mm-hmm. If it were a huge platform running this grift, or potentially running this grift, then I think all the scrutiny in the world should be there. Like, if, not that he ever would, but like if Dean Eggs out of the blue puts up a GoFundMe for a recent cancer diagnosis, I think we have right to question this, right? Because
that would just be so bizarre.
It's bizarre, and also his leverage is massive, right? Like, his reach is so huge. It's like the Jake Paul potential scandal where he scammed everybody. Like, these people have to be held to a high degree of scrutiny, because their platform is worth so much, and it can actually be leveraged in a way that not only profiteers for them, but takes massive advantage of the community at large. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, I beat the drum for security. I beat the drum for markup whenever it's people who, by all accounts, we don't think should have to sell or aren't beating what they're beating it for, and they have a huge reach type of thing. But something like this, like Jamie, Rob, they were never going to get any amplification.
I know, Cassandra, and I need to just let it go. It just bothers me, That's true. That's true. Brand new kitchen. Yeah, I could use a new kitchen too. and a dryer.
Without people turning eyeballs to them.
They were never going to be like mainstream or anything with this.
Right. Like, no shot either of them fulfill a 50K GoFundMe without some big name grabbing a hold of it and saying, like, I vouch.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I think the discussion point comes in here, because what we saw was a large kind of distancing. That's a very polite way of putting it. What we saw was a large condemning of Jamie, and
maybe perhaps a public outcry.
Yeah. Yes, it was very much a teardown of Jamie, and very much a subtle vouching system taking place for Rob.
I don't really think it was very subtle. I saw a lot of people retweeting and just like saying, like, this guy really does have cancer. Like, this is who you should be giving money to. It's like, maybe we just like shouldn't be giving money to like anyone.
The thing is,
I'm sorry, like, if you have cancer, but it's like, like,
directed to Melissa Schubert's PayPal.
I would say the same thing happened.
Don't give it to me either. Just don't give it to anyone.
You shouldn't blind.
Keep it. In this economy, keep your money. My God.
This economy. I would say the same thing happened with Jamie, though, just in the opposite direction. Like, one or two people grab a hold of the narrative that she's grifting, and now that becomes the popular narrative, which gets shared and reshared and reshared. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, let's be clear.
It's all about narrative.
It's easy to grab the hold of the narrative.
Both of these stories got amplified massively, and almost nobody did due diligence. Right. At least on the Rob side. There was a lot of pushing and pressing Jamie for receipts. We didn't really see that from the Rob side, and everybody's kind of doubling all the way back to the beginning, saying that, like, when he first came into that space, one single member of the community vouched and said that they saw proof that he has cancer. But like that seems like, especially, I don't want to particularly paint this as being on anybody, because I truly don't think it's anybody's fault. I think that like this type of stuff just happens, especially in a tight knit community where we are in this. I think in both instances, the objective behind both of these campaigns getting amplified for what they were was to spread awareness amongst the community. One being bad, one being good. Now, the issue here is that a lot of due diligence was attempted, at least when people were calling Jamie a grifter. And even still, when it was all said and done, I don't think that there's any.
You guys are funny. I need new windows in my house, the whole house. I need new windows. They're bad. They're terrible. They're awful. They air just comes through them. I'm in a very old house, needs new windows. I'm in a historic neighborhood, which means that in order to get new windows, I have to get approval to get vinyl windows. I don't know if I can get approval. I got a letter that my neighbor wanted to get vinyl windows, so I'm not even sure. I might have to get the really expensive wooden windows. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm just over here like, I'm not asking for money.
Any hard-clad proof that she's running some sort of long con here, right? That's not saying she's not.
Well,
I'm just saying.
People asked even like before. I think the people asked sort of like immediately, but I think just the order of events kind of made it so people were already like so emotionally against Jamie that they just wanted someone else.
I thought they were going to go more into the story right here. Let me see. Let's see what this says. Repercussions of a fake GoFundMe.
So I mean, we don't know. There could be repercussions. Maybe someone finds him. It's not like his full name's out there,
Yeah.
There has to be some,
and he made
like,
a GoFundMe. It's illegal to make a illegitimate GoFundMe. So it's like not like he's free from repercussion.
Apparently this guy Rob replied.
To what?
To everything. And
what do you mean? Replied where?
He wrote a big long message that Snoop Dogg just sent.
Just now?
Looks like he sent it. I'm not sure when he sent it, but I just put it in our chat.
Okay.
Basically, he's just defending himself, saying that he does have cancer, and I don't know.
Because he was silent for a while, right? And then his social media got deleted.
Apparently, when it first came out, when Snoop immediately asked him to delete it.
Or not.
So,
all right. Well, that's
where
I'm going to read it. Honestly, it's disgusting how everyone is calling me a scammer after everything. First and foremost, I am not a scammer. I do have cancer, and I'm telling you the true story of what happened. And you can do with it as you seem, because I genuinely think you care about me and want to help. I got diagnosed last July on the day I walked out of the doctor's office with zero paperwork and zero talking to my cancer doctor outside of him wishing me well and said I'm not doing any treatments and I will go fight this on my own. From that, it's just one big run-on sentence. From that day, I haven't talked to that doctor, and I lost my insurance. They gave me access to the doctor because I couldn't work anymore, so I had to get on state insurance, and they gave me a generic general practitioner who I never even have met to this day. I mean, it's just fake, lie.
I'm sorry. I sent it to Guapa.
Okay.
My bad.
Why did he delete his Twitter, though?
Oh, that's a long-ass message.
This guy ever heard of a paragraph?
I mean, I'll read it if you send it to me. But
I'm sending it to you right now. I was gonna read it, but I'm gonna spare everybody. I'm gonna spare everybody today. Let my sidekick do the dirty work.
We all appreciate that, sir. Here is as posted from Snoop Dogg. He said, "This is Rob Mercer's reply today. Honestly, it's disgusting how everyone is calling me a scammer after everything. First and foremost, I'm not a scammer. I do have cancer, and I'm telling you the true story of what happened, and you can do with it as you seem, because I genuinely think you care about me and want to help. I got diagnosed last July. On that day, I walked out of the doctor's office with zero paperwork and zero talking to my cancer doctor outside of him wishing me well. And I said, I'm not doing any treatments and I will fight this on my own." Man, this is like Sean Deeb level of grammar. From that day, I haven't talked to that doctor and I lost my insurance. I lost my insurance they gave me across to that doctor because I couldn't work anymore. So I had to get on state insurance, and they gave me a generic general practitioner who. All right, you don't get a general practitioner for a cancer diagnosis.
Like this is fucking bullshit. Because like if you actually had cancer, you wouldn't send this whole explanation. You would just show the proof.
Right.
Should have brought Michelle.
So why are you writing like a novel? Like it's just like annoying.
When Ash Kardashian asked for proof, I had no access I had no access to contact my dad because he's losing his son. After all this shit, I'm disgusted how the people who told me they cared about me and loved me turned on me in the drop of a dime because I only had a message to my new doctor and instantly I'm a scammer now. That shit isn't right. I told everybody that I was going to be off Twitter and Spaces after the blow-up fight with Nick and argument with Snoop. I can only imagine how they're portraying me now. And you know what? I don't really care, to be honest. I can't play poker anymore and I won't be part of the community going forward regardless because I have a lot of time left. I don't have a lot of time left, but I want you to relay this to everybody who turned on me. When I die in the next 2 to 3 months, I want them to remember how they turned on me and let it eat at them for how they did me in my last few months.
Oh, stop reading it. This is pissing me off now.
Hold on.
I appreciate everyone who donated and helped me to live my dream. And did it out of the kindness of their hearts and genuinely wanted to help. I'm not coming back on Twitter or social media going forward because I don't have the energy or life left in me to fight off everyone who thinks the worst of me now. End of story. Take care. And please don't message any of my friends going forward.
Scammers.
None of them.
Scammers always gaslight and then get mad and say that you're the bad guy because you're calling it out because they're embarrassed. And well, some of them are probably not embarrassed, but they realize that they're caught on to. And all they can do is gaslight and then go at you about something to make you look like the loser. And it just doesn't work.
Told me about it, but they know I've had cancer since I posted it last September on my Facebook. Take care of yourself. I wish you the best. There was not one period.
that really
awesome. But there was a couple comments in there.
Lots of comments.
You should have let Conrad read it because that's his language. I think he would have been.
No, listen. I looked at it and I started reading. And I was like, "What the fuck does this say?" Anyway, so apparently somebody also says they have really good info that Rob's dad left the trip 4 to 6 days.
Hello, Brandy.
I heard that also.
Yeah, that was
because the dad found out his son was scamming.
Yeah, I heard that also. I heard that was a part of the departure.
I mean, honestly, like if you'd only showed me that message that you just read and didn't give me any other details, I'd be like, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah, that read like every
the guilt
single
trip, the fucking rambling, the additional details that didn't need to be there, like all of it was just like just
and then
you
don't
take
talk
your
to
money
me,
and get the fuck out, man.
Don't talk to me.
Like, you know.
So there was a similar scam that happened. Must have been 2 winters ago, and I don't know what the resolve ended up being because I got kicked out of the group. Fortunately, I wasn't a part. I was invited to this home game in Puerto Rico. It was a crypto game. And
red flag.
It was mostly, yeah, maybe it was mostly. Honestly, I took it as one, but it was like mostly crypto rich people who were not professionals, and they were inviting a mix of professionals. I think like maybe Fee and 2 or 3 other pros got invites down. I think Kane Callis might have been there. I can't recall. Anyway, when it was all said and done, what ended up happening is the person. This is one of those.
I'm going to switch over.
I'm surprised that GoFundMe.
This is the part where they talk about does GoFundMe need to be more. Do they need to ask for the proof before they put these up? Because part of the responsibility is on them if it's their platform. So that's what they're going to talk about here.
GoFundMe doesn't require.
I know, right?
They probably should.
They should.
Right. It seems
they
like
should have a vetting system.
Yeah. It seems like they should be on the hook a little bit to vet.
Right. Like you have to upload some certain documents before your
how does
fund can
GoFundMe
go live.
An
work
application.
/ make money? Like how does GoFundMe make?
They take they take a piece.
No, I don't think so. No,
one of them takes a piece. There's two platforms, and one of them takes a piece. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, not GoFundMe. I think it's the
roll your eyes.
Kickstarter probably does. Kickstarter probably does, but that's a different thing. But like, I'm pretty sure GoFundMe. I mean,
it's important to actually know. If nobody actually knows, it's okay to say we don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would guess that they do not take a piece, but I don't know.
I'd rather say that than like, I'm pretty sure this does.
It's easily Googleable.
Does anybody know? Or maybe they're going to tell us.
I'm curious.
No, yeah, for sure.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I don't know why No, I get why, because it's like, oh shit, like someone's an imposter and they're getting told, like, hey, are you an imposter? It's like,
Right.
Yeah, so
you should be willing to answer the questions.
Yeah.
So there's no fee to start or manage your GoFundMe. However, to help operate, one small transaction fee of
2.9%.
Yep. So it's 2.9% plus 30 cents.
I mean, so
they
Steve,
get
donation.
$300 out of a 10K donation.
Well, this is where I'm going with that when it comes to like GoFundMe should vet, like
It's high rate.
theoretically, like they're getting.
So I recently donated to a GoFundMe for a lawsuit that somebody's going to. They have already sued several times. They're suing. It's a big deal locally, and I gave them some money, and they added on these fees, so it came out of. It was added to my donation. So whatever that percent is plus the 30 cents are saying, that was added onto my end. So say I gave $20 and they charged me like 23 something. I mean, that's what they're talking about. Yeah, they take that. But they take it from the person giving it, so that they get a cut, right? They get a cut. But they get their cut from the person giving, not from the person who's going to receive. That's how they do it. So
being paid to just have a thing on the platform.
2.9% uncapped?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
In this economy?
Jeez Louise.
Damn.
We're getting raked hand over foot. The DoorDash is inflating all their prices. Stanley got to stop playing on Hustler because fucking DoorDash is getting too expensive for me.
That's incredible. That's just absolutely incredible.
You can come to the podcast and talk about it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
okay, y'all. This is I find this case to be very interesting, but we don't have time to continue that. I've got more today, so let's see. Stop. Already did. Oh, I already did. Okay. Let me get this off of my screen. We are going to look at I want to look at this deep fake scam, because I think that this is going to be the new way that people, the guy, he lied about cancer and everything, and we could talk about it all day, but hold on. Stop. Okay. Now I'm going to share this story, because this is about deep fake. Anyone can be deep faked in a scam ad. Even this Eon guy, this is from CBS News. I'm going to share with you guys. And I think we need to be aware, as people who are watching YouTube, that not only can photographs be faked, but so can videos, if you know what you're doing. And I don't know, Deb. I guess if you only had $20, in that case, you would just have to say, no, you can't. You would have to, I guess, lower your donation. So you would lower it, and before you hit pay, because, like I said, they took the money from me, not the person getting it. The person getting it would still get that whole amount. Yeah, Cassandra, when people play on emotions, which is what a lot of and even the scammers who, will fake your child's voice, or call and say they're your child and they're in trouble. Because my father got caught by one of those scammers, in the last 10 years, and they claimed to be his grandson, and they are good at that, but they're still playing on your emotions, because they're saying, I'm in jail, or I'm hurt, or don't tell my parents, and they get money from you. It's all about the emotions, and not everybody is emotionally, they're not empathetic. They're not going to help you. They don't care. But it's hard to find a grandparent who's not going to help a grandchild. That's why that works so well. There are so many scams, but like on here, you've got people that, I guess it's the parasocial relationship, and that person is their person, and they feel like that they want to be part of that community, and they want to be, and I see it a lot around when somebody goes live in the, about drama, people just flock over there, whoever's doing it, because that's what we love. We love the drama, and it's just human nature. They look for the loopholes. Those are the people who are damaged the most, and their families trying to fight these grifters. In Philly, there was a scam a couple of homeless guy did. Oh, really? They got your aunt like that? Yeah, they got my father. He was still living in the house, in his house, and he's in assisted living now. But at that point, he was still living in his home. He had, I don't know all the details, but I know that they did claim that it was, his grandson. Yes. Yeah, I know, Cassandra. I mean, it's just constant. People wanting more money and more money and more money. And the only thing they're given in return is, taking down other people, making fun of other people, going at other people. That's how it is around here on YouTube. Yeah, fake money exchanges. Exactly. So I hope y'all can hear this. I think I hit that right buttons.
Ad on Facebook or Instagram, it's a fake. In fact, it's part of a series of fake ads involving Canadian news anchors and politicians designed to trick you into handing money over to a company for some.
Just first off, this doesn't just happen in Canada. I just happened to find this quickly this morning, and I wanted to play it.
Sort of investment scheme or scam, we're not entirely sure, so we decided to dig into it. I'm guessing a lot of people who are watching us right now haven't used it. I hadn't used it at all until yesterday. It started, for us anyway, with this video posted on Instagram. It begins with an excerpt from a real interview that we did here on The National, except that interview is about ChatGPT. In the fake ad, it's edited onto a promotion for some sort of investment scheme.
This is how much money I'm making every single week online. Look at that, $7,800 there.
A woman reached out to me on Twitter.
Started at 250, withdrew 1,100 the same day, and make 17. Yeah, these fake make money fast schemes, those are fake. Those are always fake. They fake money okay, yeah.
Twitter to say her sister clicked on the link and lost money to what she calls a scam. She said, "My sister is not a naive person, but sadly it was their usage of your image that had her trust them, as she, like myself, considers you a trusted journalist." But why do these ads keep on appearing even though they've been reported as fraudulent? We contacted Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram. They wouldn't do an interview, but they did give us a statement. Here's an excerpt. "It's against our policies to run ads that use public figures in a deceptive nature in order to try to scam people out of money."
It's a scary thought that because you're on camera, somebody could do it to me. Take my videos and put them into some commercial to make a video to raise money for some scam, and you don't even know. You don't know that that's being done. I mean, it used to just be in photographs. Now, a lot of people have access to that kind of equipment, software to make those kind of videos. I don't have the ability to make those kind of videos, but there are a lot of people who do, and they're way better at making videos than I am, and they will, just use your name and your likeness.
We have put substantial resources towards tackling these kinds of ads, but the ads still keep popping up despite people reporting it. And it gets worse. We know that users of the platform manage more than $765 million. Last month, a colleague found this on his Facebook feed. That's not my voice, and it appears my mouth was altered to make it look like I'm saying it. On CBC.
And can have a passive income of $10,000 per week.
And it's not just me. The same thing happened to opposition leader Pierre Poilievre on what's made to look like a CTV newscast. After we contacted Poilievre's office, they said they were trying to get it removed. But there's no guarantee that will happen quickly or at all. Well, let's bring in someone who watches ads online with a critical eye. Claire Atkin is with Check My Ads. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
When you saw this ad, what did you think?
I thought it was very violating. to see a person in their image who has not said those words, but who is saying those words on camera. They are using this to make money, and they are using your image because of your credibility to make money.
Look at that. It looks, I mean, it's him, you know, they've just altered his mouth to make it look like he's talking the word, you know, saying the words that are on the screen, or, you know, the whatever he's saying. It's just, I don't know where does it end? Like, where does all that end? Yeah, YouTube can't even keep people off the platform. They're not going to be able to get rid of ads. Yes, AI is very dangerous, and I do use AI. Sometimes it's like incorporated in a lot of the software that I use to make videos, and so they're adding new stuff all the time. And I have used ChatGPT to help me with ideas when I'm writing like a short, and I'll get them to condense something, and then I'll tweak it a little bit it's just a lot faster than trying to take like a whole article that I've read and put that into the link for a short sometimes. So yeah, YouTube needs a better way to handle ban evasion, for sure.
And that's a very violating thing to do.
So as you analyze this, what were you able to figure out?
What this is it's predicting how much of the content of what you say and what your image is artificial intelligence versus real footage. It looks like they've clipped different things together to make it look like it's part of a larger narrative. Mm-hmm. It is, of course, not a part of a larger narrative. This is part of a scam that they are running.
So these ads have appeared on Instagram and they have appeared on Facebook, so Meta properties. Can't they stop this? Can't they figure this out before they post them?
Yes, they can. They absolutely can. And the fact that they're not is an indictment to their ability to manage their own platforms. We have seen over and over again that they have disallowed climate change related ads, things that are about very real issues, where they have let on ads that are to do with scams or to do with disinformation.
Meta says it eventually removed that first ad, and after we contacted them a couple of times, the second one disappeared on one account, but moments later we found it on another. Pablo Seng, a lawyer with an expertise on deep fakes, says if Meta can't eliminate it, there's no quick, easy legal.
Meta's huge, y'all, because Meta owns Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. They own all these things. And if Meta can't handle it, then to get an ad taken down, then why can't, then how do we expect YouTube? I know, and they're huge too. Google is huge. They can't. It's a huge platform. What we see is just this little bitty, like a pin on a world map. It's just this little bitty speck. That would work, Mark.
Legal recourse. If somebody out there saw a deep fake of themselves and wanted to get it off of a media platform, what would you as a lawyer say to them?
I would say contact the social media platform, understand that they have an internal mechanism to remove such videos, and try to go through that way of removing the video.
And if that doesn't work?
If that doesn't work, speak with a lawyer.
But that process with a lawyer is not going to be inexpensive or short.
That's right. It's not an easy fix. That sometimes is the gap that the victim.
So somebody's using your voice and your face in an ad, and you find it. And what's your repercussions because you can't get it taken down? Go hire a lawyer? Like, who's got money to go do that? You're the one getting scammed and you've got to go hire a lawyer to, oh my gosh.
Of a deep fake will experience. There's something floating around over a long period of time, and it takes a very long time before a remedy is actually given.
And the average earnings per month are already more than $28,000.
And then besides being placed in an ad, there's other ways a deep fake could affect you. It could affect your, somebody could deep fake saying that you're this or that, and they could alter your words and your video and your voice to make you out to be something that you're not. Just like you can fake, somebody could fake a receipt, somebody could fake that's a big fake when they're faking like your emotional stability or they could fake saying that you're, a lot of things that they could do. I'm not trying to give ideas to anybody, but there's other things besides just faking for money. There's faking to ruin your reputation, things like that. It is a whole new world of scamming, Amber. It sure is. It sure is. And so here's something that I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Okay, so this is a scam. The FBI sounds the alarm on phantom hacker campaign sweeping the US. Here's how you can protect yourself. Okay. Scammers are launching devious phantom hacker campaigns with older adults often in their crosshairs. Their ultimate goal, manipulating their victims into draining their own bank accounts. This sinister method is an evolved version of the long-standing tech support scams where victims are startled by sudden pop-up messages warning their computers have been compromised. But here's where they've upped the ante. Scammers have diversified their masquerade repertoire. Gone are the days of solely feigning tech support personas. Now they're imitating bank executives or government officials to lull you into a false sense of security before they strike. Here's just a glimpse of what they do. Imagine this scenario. Your phone rings, and on the other end is someone claiming to be a helpful representative from your bank. Okay, I was on a live stream, and I had someone call me. It was from my bank. It was my bank's phone number. It came up as my bank on my phone. I answered it while I was live. Some of y'all may have been here. It's been months ago, maybe a year ago. And he was claiming that somebody had charged some things on my card and they needed to know if I did it or not. I said no. And he just kept trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I am, live on, I might have said Zoom or something. I don't like to tell everybody I'm on YouTube, but I got to go. Can I call you back? Because I didn't make any of these things. And I was in the middle of trying to be on here and there and everything. When I got off and I said, can you call me back? And I gave him a time. Well, when I got off my live stream, I called my bank. I didn't call that number. I didn't hit recall. I called my bank and they said, we haven't called you. We have not called you. This is a scam. They immediately told me they were sending me a new debit card or whichever card. I think it was a debit card that it was on. They were sending me a new card. That card would no longer be valid. And that was that. So here's the scenario. Somebody's calling you. They spin a harrowing tale of a hacker from a distance. This is probably different than what I was saying, but it did happen to me. They are spinning a harrowing tale of a hacker from a distant foreign land who ominously lurking in your account. Panic sets in. They then suggest you move your funds to a secure government account for protection. Remember, it's for your own good. Now, the bank is not going to call you and tell you to move your funds. Nobody's going to do that. They then suggest you don't fall for it. Once you do that, your account and money are all under the scammer's control. The FBI's alarming stats shed light on the scale of those scams. 19,000 complaints linked to a tech support scams in just 6 months, resulting in losses of $542 million. Nearly half of those defrauded were individuals aged 60 and above. You've got to be on your toes. And remember, I'm over 60 and I didn't grow up with computers. I have had computers since I was, 40. I don't know, whenever they came, not that old, but yeah, actually. And so we didn't, people older, they're older. They're not maybe as in tune to what's going on as other people. And it's just, it's just a scam. So how can you shield yourself, stay skeptical, validate the source, halt the transfers? Don't do any of the, you don't ever do anything like that. The bank is not going to call and tell you to move your money. Avoid remote access, password protection. And one of the things that you need to be aware of is don't ever, I don't think anybody watching this, don't ever fall for anything where they tell you to go buy gift cards to get out of whatever trouble you're in. That is the biggest scam. And then you got the romance scam. But mostly what happens are in these kind of scams, it's these older people. Yeah, the Nigerian prince thing. You bought, see, older people don't like or know. Yeah, that's it, Deb. I mean, the older we are, the less likely we're going to be in tune with all the latest technology. Now, I'm not in any way saying that I'm tech savvy or anything, but I have managed to learn how to make videos and live stream and do that. So I'm ahead of people my age, but some people my age, not a lot. I'm not saying there are tons of people who are smarter and more engaged with this stuff than I am. But what I'm saying is the older people are going to be more vulnerable. Sometimes an older person is lonely. They fall for things more easily. They may be, it's just easier to get them at home. It's easier to find them on the phone. And then we've got, so that's just something that I wanted y'all to be aware of. And then let me see about this. Yeah, I want to share. This is called Scam Spotter. And they've got a couple of videos on here. I'm trying to keep these lives shorter than longer, and these weekday lives. And I just wanted to, but I do want you guys to see this. There's a couple of videos here, and I want you guys to see. Got that. Oh, and if salmonella comes in later, if you watch the replay, salmonella got me this skeleton back here. If you see it behind me there in the chair, he's sitting on, well, she's sitting on a pillow, and I actually didn't check the pelvis bone or whatever it's called to see if that was male or female. I don't know if I can tell from this. It's not a real skeleton, but the skeleton back there has his or her arm. Maybe she doesn't know her gender. Maybe they don't know their gender. I don't know. They have their arm over my hedgehog. It's just all so pretty. Yeah, let's listen to this.
Your granddaughter has been incarcerated in a foreign jail. She has provided your number as a family representative to pay her bail. The only form of payment we accept is gift cards.
I understand.
That's a lot.
Grandma, I got the gift cards. Now give me back my granddaughter.
That's crazy. Yeah, listen to this.
So that's all you need. Okay. Well, the gift card numbers are 293229871. PIN 6339.
Hey, Cheryl Lutz.
Everyone, go home. He just paid his outstanding taxes and gift cards.
Yeah, nobody is legitimately going to call you from anywhere legitimate and ask you to go to Target or somewhere and buy gift cards to repay them. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, that's a quick look at some scams and some things that can happen. We could talk about this all day. We could talk about it. Maybe we'll retouch on this subject, later in the week. I'll find some more cases because I find it fascinating that the links they will go. The guy trying to play poker, and he raised the money to go play poker. And it's just like, I know, gift cards, that's so old. Well, I did a scam. I talked to this scammer. I got one of those emails that the scam was, Flame says, don't damn anyone who believes the government was, yeah. Yeah, that's true, Flame. So the guy wanted me to give him my password. Well, actually, the guy actually changed my password because I gave him the first code. He was trying to get into my PayPal, and I wouldn't give him the second code, but that's what he was trying to do because I got the email saying that I had purchased made this big purchase and that they needed information something to put it through. And I called him and I did the videos. I made the videos on here, but I wouldn't give him that second code. And I was trying to avoid everything because I knew if I gave him that second code, was he going to be able to get in my computer, or was he going to, hey, Marion, or was he going to be able to get my PayPal? Now, there's no balance. I don't keep a balance in my PayPal. I get money there occasionally. I have 2 PayPals, but anyway, I don't keep the money. I don't leave money in there. I always take it out, but I still don't want anybody to have access to my PayPal because they could actually send themselves money through your PayPal via whatever card you've got attached to that or whatever accounts you've got attached to that. So you don't ever give out that information. And I was dumb to even give him the first code. And I realized when I was talking, don't give him any more information. You remember that? Yeah. It was horrible. So be aware of what's going on and who's asking you for money. And mine would be losers. Yeah. The bad guys, they're trying everything they can. We talked about, the bad guys. Why do the bad guys always seem like they win the other day? We kind of solved it that the bad guys don't always win. Yeah, that's right, Marion. Don't give that information out. We as people have to be on our toes constantly. We've got people out here who are looking up where we live, doxing us, putting this information out, and we don't know, like the people on YouTube, what are they going to do with that information? Because it just seems like everybody's always digging up stuff and going at people, and it's just too much. And we got to be, can y'all hear Rusty barking? We have to be our own protectors. We have to protect our own. Lottery is a ripoff. Anyway, guys, we're at our time today, and I'm just so happy to see you guys here, and I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you back in the morning. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but we'll be back every weekday this week, and we are going to do the morning live. And if you're watching the replay, please comment and let me know that you're watching the replay, and if you have any thoughts on it. And also, please give me a thumbs up. Not getting a whole lot of likes on my lives, and I would appreciate it. It's just a free way to support my channel, and I appreciate you for that. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day and make sure you take care of yourself. Bye.